friends. So today I want to discuss values and beliefs, specifically obviously to do with weight loss and fat loss. Now, I typically do use fat loss and weight loss interchangeably. It should not be really. I think that, most of us, I would be confident to say that most of us do think that we want fat loss, not weight loss, but we equate it to weight loss because we use the scale. So that's why I use it interchangeably. But that aspect of either weight loss or fat loss does have to align with your values and beliefs. What I mean is, let's pretend you have a routine that does involve a concoction, for example, of having boiling onions with sugar because every time you get the flu or every September, you value that aspect. You believe that concoction works for you, and it keeps you away from having a cold. So therefore, every September you do the concoction. Makes sense. Whether it works or not, that's another conversation altogether. But let's add to that chamomile tea. You use that tea in order to go to bed because you strongly believe that it just gives you scent. It relieves some of that stress of the day. Additionally, it might help you with your anxiety and any stresses that you have during the day. So where this gets a little bit more complicated is when, for example, you really value your glass of wine, or you value the fact that you do want to have an aspect during the week, you want to have takeout, or when you are there's periods of time like your birthday or your birthday week where you get invited to certain places and you prize that interaction where you don't have to count and you don't have to be put in a position where you are calorie counting. That's your non-negotiable, right? It falls within your values and your beliefs. So because of that, because you have to marry your diet or the way you eat during the week, the way you eat during the weekend with your values and your beliefs, there has to be quite a bit of planning, which we did discuss a couple weeks ago. Then there was the discussion of the incorporation of things you love. For example, my diet will look different than your diet. And because they both look different, I would argue that the way I lose weight and the way you lose weight are so different. The interesting part about this is the fact that, unfortunately, because it's so individualized, that it just takes a lot of you to do what you need to do in order to go through the process of weight loss, because you have to find out what you incorporate during the day. Does it have to look the same every day? Absolutely not. I would argue that that's where you get diet fatigue. Does it have to be certain foods in terms of the chicken, the rice, and the broccoli? Absolutely not, because again, it will give you fatigue. This is a situation where there has to be an equilibrium between your values in terms of what you believe and what you eat, and your beliefs in terms of what you incorporate into your diet, right? So Italians, for example, they're non-negotiables. Every night they have a glass of wine. Not every Italian, but I would say that some cultures do incorporate some sort of alcohol and others do not. it's very interesting because there's always a bit of what the benefits that outweigh the adverse effects. Do some people find smoking one cigarette after dinner very satisfying, and it helps with that regulation of overeating? Sure. Is it beneficial in the long term? Not really. But then who am I? Because there's an aspect of me where I'm the nurse, where I say, yes, I can give you all the education and everything to do with how good something is versus something is not. And I could give that information, but if you're despite that information, if you're still giving me or if you're still thinking that the benefits of smoking completely outweigh the benefits of health, and I'm trying to say this as compassionate as I can, I gotta tell you, then it is really, you're doing this with the full knowledge of what I've told you. After that, there's no other conversation to be had, because you're very well aware of what everyone says about smoking. Now, I used to smoking just to make the example very straightforward. What I really wanted to address was the foods that processed, or your hot dogs or your chicken nuggets and things like that. Now, the reason why I'm equating it is not because I find them maladaptive. It's just that because some people do. Frankly, all foods are equal. You have no more benefits and no more. A calorie is a calorie. Now, while the calorie is a calorie, the value of that calorie or the quality of that calorie is to be argued. A calorie from broccoli is not the same as a chicken nugget. But the broccoli, while you should incorporate it, you cannot delete the chicken nugget, because it adds value to your life. Not from the perspective of food or nutrients, but it does give you satisfaction. It does to me. It has to be included in my diet. So therefore, because it gives me that satisfaction, I have to, in order for me to continue to proceed with my weight loss. And this becomes very important when you have more than 100 pounds to lose. You cannot possibly stick to a diet for years, 5-6 years, that it will take you to lose hundreds of pounds. We cannot kid ourselves. We do need to make sure that everything that we're incorporating in our lives, which includes exercise and diet, has to fall within our values and our beliefs. And we cannot dissociate from the fact that as an environment or as a people, we have all incorporated processed foods. And processed does not mean bad. Processed means bad to some people, not all people. And while you could argue that I'm a mom and she sticks to certain foods, if it's within her values and beliefs, who am I to judge? Right? So therefore, I would say stick to what you strongly believe and what you like and what you not like, and you will be able to prolong your weight loss longer. I wish you health and happiness, and I will see you next week. Have a good one.